Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. We are ever open, and love is healing everything. We are ever open, rising up to spread our wings. We're all one in love. We're all one in love. All that we made up reveals here in love. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle May, and I'm on the Board of Trustees and one of the licensed practitioners. And as you choose your seats this morning, I'll be sharing all the good things that we've got going, and there's a lot. So if you need a reminder of what's happening, they're on your program, but we also have a lovely sheet with everything going on in December. Mark your calendars and hold on to your seats. Lots going on. But first, before I start talking about December's activities, in your programs you also found a postcard about our Sacred Journey. It's a retreat that we do every year. And what's fabulous is that this year is our 6th annual. We do it every January. And lots of times it's completely filled with folks from the mainland in Canada. However, this time we have lots of folks joining us right here from our own community and the island. So it's really exciting, and we have 2 more spots available. So there's information on the back. It's a week-long extravaganza of all sorts of workshops and special events, and it's just really extremely nourishing and helps us really connect deeply into our spirituality. So if that resonates for you, you can talk to Reverend Patrick, myself, or anyone who's on the committee for that. And spread the word as well. You don't have to come to service to participate in this. So if you know anybody else in your life or in the community that would find this of value, definitely share it with them. All right, so today, directly after service, we have Rap with the Revs, which is our monthly opportunity to get to know each other a little bit deeper and on our spiritual path and finding out more about each other. So please join us for that. Probably about 15 minutes after our service concludes, you'll have a little bit of your hospitality gathering chatting time, and then we're going to invite you to choose to stay with us or head on out in a loving way. And then on the back table, we have a few things going on specifically for the holidays that we do ask that you sign up for. And the first one is our Women's Annual Holiday Party. So that's going to be next Saturday the 8th from 11 to 1. And it's going to be at the Revs house. So Reverend Rita will be hosting it along with the practitioner corps. And the sign-up sheet is also to let us know what you're going to bring, because it is a potluck brunch. And don't worry, if you don't know where their house is, they'll let you know soon. Don't worry, it's not till next Saturday, so either Reverend Rita or Reverend Patrick will be in touch with you on Tuesday to give you the address if you don't know where they are. They just don't want to e-blast it to the world, but you will find out. Just leave your way to communicate with you on that form, and of course, lots of goodies will be served there. So that's again Saturday from 11 to 1. And then Reverend Rita is going to be doing a wonderful one-time workshop called Why Forgiveness. It's a one-evening workshop. Please make the time to come. It's all about tools to gather rituals for forgiveness for everything, everyone, including ourselves. So especially in this time of lots going on, Forgiveness is really always the key, along with love. So come and learn from Reverend Rita different tools and techniques that help you along in this, so that we can just keep growing and learning. So that's going to be on Wednesday, December 12th from 6 to 8:30. There's also that sign-up sheet. And again, another sign up is for the holiday caroling with the Revs. Is also an annual event that they do. It's going to be up in Kaua'i at their house. So again, sign up. You'll find out the address just before. It's like a secret code. You'll learn the knock too. And that's going to be Friday, December 14th from 6 to 8. And it's just some time to get together, go caroling around the neighborhood, and just celebrate in the spirit of light and this time of light, and spread that light. That's the biggest thing. You don't see too many people going around caroling anymore, so it's always a fascinating experience. For them and us. Always. And then on Wednesday, December 19th, we're continuing with our Power Talking from the Heart, which is when we have 4 people from you guys come up and share from their heart on a specific theme. This theme is called The Gift. This month it's called The Gift, around the holidays. And as of right now, we have Meg, Stephanie, and Reverend Diane, who's going to be speaking that evening. So that's Wednesday from 6:30 to 8, I believe. And then we have the Christmas Eve candlelight service. So that's going to be December 24th from 6 to 7. And it's just a way to come together, to gather, to just, again, celebrate this celebration of light, this time of light and of giving. And that's going to be with music and inspiration. And feel free to bring a little Christmas treat to share. And then we do have monthly spiritual living circles in Kaua'i. It's going to be Wednesday, December 19th from 4 to 5 with Rebecca DeRoos. And then up in Princeville on Wednesday, December 26th from 3 to 4 with Anna Myers. So lots happening. Buckle in, strap in, and join us. Thanks for your kind attention, and I'd like to introduce Reverend Patrick.
Well, aloha, everyone. Nice to see your beautiful, shining faces. If you haven't noticed, or if you're here for the first time, this isn't just about me, or is it? We do not have Reverend Rita here today, and a lot of you know why we don't have her, but I'm just going to let you know in the most elegant, eloquent, and best way I can. So here's the deal. This week, life can change in a heartbeat. Last Sunday, we were all together, and I was singing cabaret. And then we had I don't want to use the word tragedy, but we lost a very, 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 what we consider family on the mainland. And it was Nora Rose Hines. And she was 19, and she was in an accident last Sunday and did not recover from it. So Rita went out to be the light, to shine the light there, and I stayed to shine the light right here and now. And I'll have a little bit of it as I talk, but I just want you to know that I'm here, and also the Father is now at his center in Westlake. And he met his congregation today for a reason. He said, I must go to my congregation for a brief moment to let them know that I lost my daughter. I did not lose my faith. And that's a powerful message. And that's what I just know that we will get today. And if you're here for the first time, this is how we roll. This is how we roll. We have fun and we do a lot of things. And this is all a part of life and the celebration of it. So I welcome you there, but I just want to also read a letter from Rita that she sent this morning. And she says, Aloha, dear family. I just wanted to speak from here in Los Angeles and thank you from the very depth of my soul for the support and love you have given me and Patrick during this time of sorrow and grief. It has truly held me up, and I can feel your loving energy. I love my Kaua'i family. What I want you to know, and I will speak more on it next week, is that my faith is not shaken. I am as strong in what I know as I was before this happened. In fact, it is because of what I know that I am able to navigate these waters for my family here in Los Angeles. It is because of what I know that I can sit in the sorrow and grief. I am not saying I understand what has happened or the whys, but I do know that in that place of not understanding, I find peace, knowing that something mysterious is unfolding. I do not have to understand it now, besides to know that I am a part of it. I get to walk through this. I am grateful for that. Thank you for supporting Reverend Patrick and for your presence and love in this place called CSL Kauai. I will see you next Sunday. So that is her. We'll say hello to her in a moment on the live stream. So that's just how we roll with this. I just wanted, this is, I have a new title for today. Today is Real Deal Sunday. It's Real Deal Sunday now. Because, you know, this idea that spirituality and all of that, that we don't get to cry and we don't get to scream and we don't get to get angry is absolutely BS. A belief system that I choose to hold near to my heart. So during this time, yeah, you thought I was going to cuss again. I really, you know, I'm working on it, folks. So welcome. But before we start anything, I just want to invite Reverend Diane up, and we're going to light our peace candle. And I think this is appropriate. And this month's theme is Joy to the World. And yes, it is. There you go.
I just invite you to take a breath and settle into your very self. As we take this time, as we do every week, to be peace, to allow our peace to permeate everything around us and go out to the world. And so let's just take a breath in and release anything unlike peacefulness right here. And know that there is only one thing going on, and it is the peace of God. It is moving in and through everything we see and everything we cannot see. It is moving in and through what we know and what we do not understand. And so I speak this word of blessing, especially today, holding Nora, James, Kevin, the whole extended family, Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick, all those affected by the death of dear Nora this week. And know that right where all of them are, the peace of God is, as a comforting balm on their hearts, bringing peace to us as we send that out to them now through this time of quiet. And so it is done. Mahalo.
Oh, it always feels good to settle in with that, right? Yeah. So if you're here for the first time, I'm going to talk a little bit about science of mind and what it stands for. Actually, it's going to be very brief because it's a very simple, yes, I hate to disappoint all of you, but it's a simple philosophy. And this simple philosophy is it is done unto you as you believe. It is about the law of cause and effect. Just like the boomerang, man. Put it out there, comes right back. And so that's the beauty. And it's this philosophy, and if you don't know anything, but it is Ernest Holmes who founded it. But you know, I founded something alongside with Rita, and it takes more than just being a founder of a teaching. It takes applying it. It takes applying it. And so I appreciate Ernest Holmes for bringing us Science of Mind and then Centers for Spiritual Living. I appreciate all of that. But none of it will be any good to any of us if we don't apply the teaching, which is basically love. Love, love, and then love some more. So there you go. So welcome. Now, who is here for the first time, don't try to hide because there's shells around your neck and I will find them. Is that, just raise your hand, there's not, oh, there you go. And it's okay, there is a choreographed dance number that will be at the end, and you will be coming up at the very end of this service. But I just want to let you know that we know something about you, and we're about to say it. It's been passed around to everybody except for you, because we saw the shells, and we just want to let you know what we know. You are magnificent. I caught her. I got that release. Oh, that. Oh, good. Well, we know that about you because we know that about ourselves. It's that simple. We cannot know anything about you. We cannot know peace unless we know peace within ourselves. We cannot know how magnificent you are unless we know it about ourselves. So shall we say it together? I am magnificent. Now, if you thought that was good, it even gets better. Because there's this man, there's two men back there, that's Charles and Rob. And they're by the camera there, and that camera is like letting us be like totally live to everyone on the mainland and those who did not want to get out of their house today and are drinking coffee while watching. We say hello to them as well. So we really appreciate them watching and being a part of this because you're a part of the family. Thank God for technology, and let's let them know who they are. You are magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right. I don't care where you look. Just let somebody know who they are. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. All righty, shall we get on our magnificent feet and have an opening song here? And Luis is here on drums, and this is Maria Cristina. And if you'll notice, Luis and I have the same dresser.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And as we continue to let it shine, this is what I know, this is what I truly know, that we are, each and every one of us, that beacon of light. We have come here today to celebrate, to remember who and what we are, and that is that eternal light that just keeps on shining. And so I am so grateful for the opportunity for us to come celebrate today, right here, right now, in this divine moment that has never happened in the exact same way that it is happening right now. And that is truly something to celebrate. I am just vibrating right here and right now at the frequency of the divine. And I know each and every one of us is vibrating at that same frequency or even more. So I let this time unfold from its place of perfection, its place of love, its place of peace. And with such gratitude in my heart, we just let it go, we let it be, as together we say, and so it is.
All around the world, we're gonna let it shine. All around the world, we're gonna let it shine. All around the world, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you, Maria and Louise. If you've just joined us, I'm still Michelle LeMay. And now I'm going to just invite you into our time of meditation. So as you settle into your seats and just taking some deep breaths to bring us right into this moment, I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or slightly open or wide open. Whatever feels good for you in this time of going within, letting everything before this moment just slip away. I have a seed thought, if you'd like to take it in with you. The joy we feel has little to do with the circumstances of our lives, and everything to do with the focus of our lives. The joy we feel has little to do with the circumstances of our lives, and everything to do with the focus of our lives. joy we feel has little to do with the circumstances of our lives and everything to do with the focus of our lives. And knowing that this space we've just been in is always available to us. It's the space where God is within, where the joy is, where the love is. And knowing that this space is perfect and available always. I am knowing that right here in this moment, right now, is exactly where God is. In and through everything, seen and unseen. No matter what is happening on the outside, this God essence is inside. I know this truth for me, and I know this truth for each and every one of us in this room, on this island, watching live stream throughout this planet and this universe. There is only one. There's only one. One God, one love, one spirit. And it is joy. Joy is already within. Even with all the feelings that are coming up, no matter what they are, joy is still there. Love is there too, at all times. And I am knowing that this joy that's within just reverberates and ripples into all aspects of our life. That there is joyful creative expression. That there is joyful abundance. The harmony in our relationships with ourselves and others is just filled with joy. And that our health is vibrating with this same joy that God is. And since there is only this joy, this love, this God, that is what is true. That is what is real. And honoring and blessing and feeling everything else, knowing that joy is still there, that it's all real and all true. And as we are just still in this moment and in this now, I give great gratitude, a huge mahalo to this teaching, to this love, to this joy I know that's within. And I release my word into a law that can only say yes, but has already said yes to this joy in our lives. For when we focus on that joy, more joy will be seen. When we focus on that love, more love will be seen and felt. And as I release my word, I know it does not come back void, that it's already been done in the mind of God with so much love and so much joy. Let's affirm it together. And so it is.
We have our chant that is in the program. The words are very simple. I am. You'll catch on quickly.
I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am. I am that 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 I am. I am.
I am that I am. I know what you're all thinking. Don't even try to, you're all like pretending like you're not thinking that this is going to be a shorter service because Rita's not here. And then I have been going through a lot, so I'm probably not going to talk as long. thought wrong. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I invite us all today, since it's Real Deal Sunday, to just be real with yourself. There's no rules. There's nothing good or bad. People say, oh, are you going to be able to do that and want to take care of me? And that's fine. And I'm with family. That's how I look at it. So I can be and do and have anything that I choose, and that we understand one another. But it was a little difficult when you thought, okay, I'm just going to give you a little processing. So we're going to start Joy to the World. We come up with that beautiful one last Sunday. Joy to the world. Are you kidding? That's what I have to talk about today, is joy to the world. And for you that just walked in late, it's not that I noticed you, but I'm just saying that what we're talking about here today is that we had a loss in our family, our spiritual family this week, of our little 19-year-old Nora, who had decided to do something a little different with the rest of eternity. So if you're wondering if I referred to her, I just don't want you to go think, what's he talking about? What's he talking about? So I'm thinking to myself, how do you talk about joy when you've had this incredible, wrenching, pulling the heart out week? Because this is how it works. If I give up joy, and I give up laughter, and I give up love, because I feel that's the right thing to do, but that's what I've been taught, that when somebody passes away, then you grieve and you don't smile and you wear black. Well, we actually don't do that anymore. But I'm just letting you know that it's not that I think it's funny, but I know that life is continuing on. And me being somber, completely somber, and me not having any kind of laughter or any kind of joy is a disservice and a dishonor to this young lady. And here's the other 411. She's not coming back no matter how somber I get. She's not coming back. If I never say another word, I never dare to love again, she's not coming back in the same way. So we got that clear. That I'm really okay, at least for today. If you saw me last night, you may not have thought that. Because I went swimming last night in a puddle of tears. And it felt good. I was just like, yeah. Cry, baby, cry. Feel. Life's about feeling. It's not about shutting it down. Well, this has been quite a week, because right when this happened, we got Rita out on Tuesday night after our healing circle, so we had quite a week. Then Wednesday is our foundation class, and the topic was even better because it was about immortality. And so I got to spend 2.5 hours talking about what we thought about death. How apropos. I always think to myself, the universe always knows exactly what it's doing. And I'm going to tell you, it was one of the most healing experiences that I had, because it just allowed me to just embody this whole philosophy. And then Thursday, we got to Joy the World, decorate a tree, and watch kids singing, and celebrate life. And I know one thing about Nora, and I know about life, that she loved music. I knew her when her guitar was bigger than she was. And she said, I can play this sucker. And she was like a Joan Baez, man. And she grew up to be just like that as well. So I celebrated it, and a couple times it was a little strange to be going, jingle bells, jingle bells. And I'm thinking, But I was glad to do it. And then on Friday, because the universe didn't think it was funny enough, with the immortality and the joy to the world, we got to watch the movie that was so well attended. Like 30 people came to this movie, and it was called Collateral Beauty. Its theme being a man who loses his kid. And he has to meet love, time, and death to unfold and discover. So I thought, this really gets good, right? So I'm just thinking to myself, wow. So I wanted to share just a little quote that I got from the beautiful Miss Elizabeth Diamond. I asked permission. This whole week when we were out at the car on Friday night, she said, you know, you've been a real trooper this week. So then I guess she went home and thought about it and did not like the word trooper whatsoever. I was fine with trooper, but trooper, I get it. Trooper's kind of, you got through it no matter what, you know, so I get it. So she rethought and remeditated, and I just want to give a little piece of what she wrote to me I woke up to on Saturday morning. You have been a great navigator. Staying the course this week through the crashing waves, thunderous emotions, guiding yourself and all of us by the shining light of the ever-present star of love. Now you wake up to that, man, you got a day ahead of you. You know what I mean? That's a trooper. I love our audience participation. They help me out no matter what goes on. So, as I mentioned before, her dad stood up, and we were watching kind of on Michelle's, but we couldn't hear her too well, that to much of everyone's dismay of him going to his center today, people tried to stop him, but if you know James Mellon, that's not going to really ever happen. And so he went there, and Rita's presiding and kind of navigating everyone through. And I want to kind of piggyback on what his idea is that he never lost his faith even though he lost his daughter. And that's a big one for us to chew, is it not? I have had personally more phone calls this week from the mainland from people that have known us for about 10 years or so, wanting one thing, and that is to understand. Give me understanding. I wrote a blog, it helped people. Rita wrote a blog, it helped a lot of people. But everybody wants one thing, and they want one thing only, is please make me understand how this could possibly be. And I'm sure all of you sitting there are probably thinking the same thing. It really stirs a lot, even after the movie we had the discussion. It stirs a lot of our own fears if we've got kids. And that fear, all that stuff comes up. But I think it needs to come up and be looked at and to be loved through. And so what I have learned, what a lesson this week has been for me. I told Rita, I said, Nora has been my greatest teacher this week. I have learned more about myself in 1 week than probably the 4 years of, getting that beautiful degree. Because this week I got a real degree in life. And I got a real degree on what I really stand for. And this is what a message I want to get out to all of us. Please let us not wait to test faith in a tragedy. It's I know it can be, but it's a really rough time to do it. If you're going to start going, I think I'm going to use some of that faith we've been talking about. It doesn't happen. It's a cultivation of this teaching of this thing called faith. And so Ernest Holmes tells us this, and I love it. To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. When things look the worst, that is the supreme moment to demonstrate to ourselves that there are no obstructions to the operation of truth. Oh my God, that lives within. Oh yeah, you think I don't do that, because then I'm standing at the end. They'll go, I heard you were dualistic. You talk to the God outside of yourself. Gotcha. Wow. All I've got to say is wow. So what is this thing called faith? And here's the other thing. I just love this. And it's just, I let you know what goes on inside of me. People all wanted to, these were the first words. What happened? She's not here. I know, but what happened? Were they texting? Were they this? Were they blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, I don't really care at this point. I don't care if they were dancing, doing whatever. She's gone. So the real question is not what happened and why. This is the question I ask myself. What do I do now to honor life and love now that she has transcended into something even bigger than she was before, speaking of big lights? That's the question, because it really doesn't do any good. And I'll tell you why we ask it. And I'm going to be using a lot of we, and then you can talk to me about we. Shouldn't use we, should always be I invite you, shouldn't, couldn't. And you guys can tell me all that out there. But I'm going to use we, no matter what you guys, because you can say whatever you want, but we are in this together. And we are in this together. And this is why people want to know the details. I'm not kidding. I was on the phone praying with somebody, and I got down and she said, now was she driving or was he? And was it? We say that because we want to avoid something really big. And that's our feelings. As long as I can keep talking about the car and the texting and the things, and or is there a lawsuit and da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. As long as I keep talking about that, I won't tell you how I really feel. I'm scared. I'm hurt. I'm angry. All of those beautiful emotions. They're all perfect. As soon as we can add to that and we can accept that and that we cannot be afraid to show who we are, no one's going to hurt you. And here's the other 911, 411 on this. God, life did not betray me. It did not betray Nora. It did not betray the family. There is no betrayal here. None. And that's another one to choose too. Because we want to be, I was so angry at her on Wednesday. Oh, I ran her up and down. They sent in a tape of me saying goodbye to her. And I was like, you know, Nora, this isn't even funny, man. Stop it. And I said it just lovely. I said it very spiritual. Get your ass home. Come home. Did you? You didn't hear me. I said come home. You know, like a dad does? I said come home right now. And I could feel her with her delightful presence saying, oh, you sweet, sweet man. I'll just hold you while you yell at me. And then what happened, and I said this on Sunday, my faith is unshakable. And I said, wow, what does that really mean? And I thought, this is what I get to do now. You're not coming home, are you, Nora? You're going to do a whole rippling effect on this whole thing, right? And we celebrate that. So you're not coming home. So I only got one choice. And I'm not going with you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to support her on her decision. I'm going to support her, and I'm going to be her best cheerleader through her next adventure. Thank you. You guys can fill in my words anytime you want today, because this is when I actually do give permission. Because once again, this idea of faith, and what I learned about faith was, and I do mean unshakable faith, is that you can have unshakable faith and just be wrenching with every bit of emotion. You can just feel it all, and I just kept thinking to myself, I am alive. I'm alive. Not because I'm making it funny or trying to get past anything. I'm alive. And so is Nora. I'm alive, having feelings, you're alive. And then when I would laugh, I was alive. Tony Robbins, since we're bringing a little bit of energy, because that was a nice segue. Tony said something that I really thought was in alignment with this idea of where does our faith stand? And here's another thing. You can't have my faith. I wish you could. I wish I could just poof and let you have my faith. I can't have yours. We have to learn from each other about how to cultivate it for ourselves. And Tony Robbins says, if you want lasting change, because that's inevitable, you have to give up this idea of just trying something. And you have to commit yourself to mastery. This isn't a one-time, got the faith down and now I'm ready to go. This is a lifetime of mastering this inward thing called faith. And that means not just dabbling, but fully immersing yourself. Because your life is not controlled by what you do some of the time, but by what you do consistently. So I want to talk about dabbling. Have you ever dabbled? I love the word, first of all. Just dabble. Just kind of dabbles. I've been a dabbler. That's when we kind of go and we say, oh, that's a nice idea. Just like I was in the parking lot and somebody came up to me and said, I'm really sorry, and then they looked at me and they said, so how do you feel about this? Kind of like, what do you got to say about this one? It's like stump the minister in the parking lot. I said, what do you got to say about this one, big guy? And I said, but they didn't say it like that. That was my interpretation, which probably had no validity or truth to it at all. But I make stuff up, don't you? Yeah. So I'm out in the parking lot, and oh yeah, you can laugh. It really is okay. You make it up. You know you do. So I said, this is what I believe. I believe that life is not random. So that really puts a whole clincher in the whole idea that there was an accident, because there was. I don't believe in a random universe, or I wouldn't have gotten out of bed this morning and I wouldn't leave my house, because that means at any moment something can attack me. And I refuse to live that way, because that is not living. That is being imprisoned. And it's the closest thing to death that I can even imagine. It is not random. And there is order to everything, even if we can't understand it. There has to be. Have you looked at our skies? Have you looked at the cosmos? Have you looked at our body that's just doing these incredible things right here, right now? There is order, and it doesn't go off order because something doesn't work right for me in this moment. So what does that mean? How do you handle that? And then she looked at me, and it was such a beautiful moment. She said, you know what, Patrick? I'm looking you straight in your eyes, and I have to say, you really believe that. You really believe that, don't you? And I said, I most certainly do. And I could tell there was that little moment like, I don't. But you believing it. What do I always say as a spiritual practitioner? They say, it's easy for you to say. I say, well, that's why I'm saying it. Yeah. That's why I'm saying it, because if it's hard for you to say it right now. And then I say to people, okay, I got something for you. They go, I can't believe that. I'm not ready for that. I'm ready. Then let's just, I can sit in the darkness with you as long as you want. Because that's sometimes we have to do. We have to sit in the darkness. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, so can you believe that I believe 100%? Yes, I can. Oh, that I can believe. Well, then let's start there, shall we? Let's just start there. And so, dabbling is an okay thing, but I don't want to be a dabbler anymore. I've decided, she taught me life is precious. I even think I said it last week, it was the last thing I was ever to say. And as a matter of fact, I want to say this quote perfectly, because he said, Benjamin Zander, I don't know if you know who he is, he's a conductor, and he has a wonderful TED Talk. And he was talking about a woman that he met, that a Holocaust survivor, and she was telling about her when they were little, and she was talking about her brother, and he didn't have his shoes on. Well, and if he lived in Kauai, it would have been fine, but he didn't have his shoes on. And she's like, what is wrong with you? You're always forgetting things. You forgot your shoes. And this was the last word she got to say to her brother, because he didn't come back. And she said when she walked out into the sun, this is what she said. And I think it really pertains for all of us. I will never say anything that couldn't stand as the last thing I ever say. I will never say anything that couldn't stand as the last thing I ever say. Aren't you glad you came today? Yeah. I will never say anything that couldn't stand as the last thing I ever say. And Benjamin Zander, this beautiful conductor, said, don't get all excited because we won't be able to do it without some practicing. It doesn't just happen now. We get this inspiration and we go, I got that one. You watch what I say. And a lot of people are talking to their husbands and their spouses and friends and everybody much better after hearing that particular one, because you know how what happens, you leave, and it was the other day I was walking out of the house when Rita wasn't leaving the house, Rita was, and we're live. So I took her to the airport, and she said to me, "What's the last thing you're going to say?" And I was like, "I love you." She says, "No." I'd always tell her, "Fly first class." Fly first class, and she needs to hear that because she wants to be reminded that we are always in this thing called first class. So I still have another hour or so I think I'm kidding. 45 minutes. So here's the deal. I want to talk just a little bit about collateral beauty because it was such an uplifter. It was so meaningful to me, this idea. Has anybody ever seen Collateral Beauty?
Yeah.
With Will Smith and the whole gang of beautiful people? And I'll tell you what I really took from it was that he's really angry at love and time and death because of his little girl. And so he gets an opportunity to voice that anger, which we all do at some point. So I won't go through all of them, but the one thing that I really a quote that somebody talked about the movie in a review, it says, "It's as if the pain and the joy, the love and the loss existed as two sides of a coin that was spinning so fast that you couldn't tell the difference from one another." And love has a very interesting thing to say, and it really touched me, is because we don't get to love without this pain. Not because it was a cruel joke put on us, but because we have misunderstood. There's my wee again. Because I know none of you did. But I have misunderstood this idea of pain. The pain that I have felt this week is attached to love. Oh my God. Inside. I'm telling you, all that wretched pain, and I went, this isn't bad. This is love.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that it doesn't look like a Hallmark card for me. But it's just so, I love this word too. I don't really like being a dabbler, but I love this word, raw. There is something so valuable in being raw, because you're really being real. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen, it reminded me a little bit of watching the movie, Death Takes a Holiday. And it's this concept that death takes 24 hours off, or 3 days. No, it's 3 days. And so everything lives. And so why is he taking it off? Because death wants to understand why you fear and hate me so much. And I had to really settle in on that one. Because we have this idea that death is just this awful creature that's coming around and zapping us out. And this is what death says: I am sort of a vagabond of space. I am the point of contact between time and eternity. What if death was just the messenger? And we stopped labeling all of this so horrible, because it's not going to help us. And so I went, well, I don't know if I can totally wrap myself around that one, but at least I understood what he said, because he said, do you understand how awful it is that if my presence is felt, that people shrug from me? That everywhere I go, things fade to nothing? I come up to smell a rose and it dies. Haven't you ever felt like that in your life sometimes, when you're really in that dark space and you're thinking, wow. So I kind of had an understanding of death that I'd never understood before, that there wasn't anything out to get me. Life is a teacher, and love is the reward in all its forms. When we can see love where darkness used to reside, we can finally turn our lives and those around us into something glorious. And can we do it today? Yes, actually we can. Or maybe not. So I hope this really, for today, I hope this breaks some of the taboo about this particular teaching that says we're all zippity-doo-dah, zippity-a, which I still, by the way, stand tall with the woo-woo. If I'm called woo-woo, I don't care. I'll call you dabbler. You call me woo-woo. It'll all be good. Life is so, so precious. And though I have a lot of emotions about it, let me tell you what I know about Nora. Is that she is so filled with the exuberance of life, and that she wants no one to be sitting here mourning her. She wants to be celebrated as every 19-year-old does. Now here's where the faith will come in for us. If you believe in death as the finality of life, then you got some work to do as far as where I'm sitting. But I must remember that life is continuous. Nora is not dead. Those people that you love, this is a very interesting time of year, right? The people that you love, that you've lost. Until we can understand that they're not gone. But we're still trying to communicate like we're communicating right now. There is another form of communication, and I have this feeling, and you know how I am about feelings. I have this feeling that it's all about feelings and not about words. I have a feeling that there's a veil that's so thin that someday, when people transcend, will be just like we are if they move to New York. Or like Deb, who moved to Colorado. I took her to the airport and she said, I feel like I don't really have anything to say with everything you're going through. And I said to her, Deb, I hate to break this to you, but you're dying too. This is a death. Right? She's left here and now she's in Colorado. She'll come back again. And so will Nora, if we let her. If we let her. So Nora gets to live closer to me than I've ever had anyone that close. And she's in my breath and she's in everything now. But until we can really feel that, then we will still be, lacking in faith. And that's okay. This isn't a scolding party. But just, I'm inviting us, as Rita always say, let's pray up, people. And I don't mean pray to, pray up. Because it's when the diagnosis hits, the call comes in that says they're gone, that I got a call on my faith like I've never called, and it better be ready for me. It better be ready for me. So how do you do that? When it's all zippity-doo-dah, you take all that in. And you're grateful, gratitude, 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 love, love, love. And you fill up so much that when this hits, you go, all right. All right. All right. I got love here, man. Let's go. Nothing's against us, everyone. Yeah. So, how do we end? I cannot believe it. I'm going to let you off the hook. It's just, it bothers me so because, I had this idea that we'd be here and be like 11:30 and everybody looking at the clock. Going, well, wow, whoa. So, collateral beauty, I just want to end on one thing with that. That was so important to me to remember that fine line between love and pain. And I will never look at pain the same way again. Because pain is my reminder of who I am and what I love and all of that. And think of the opposite. Can you imagine? Not feeling. I think of the people that I know that have shut down. And they refuse to feel because they think they're going to get out of this. Oh yeah, I'm not getting in a relationship. You wait and see, baby. I'm gonna stay all single. Yeah, I'm not getting in there so they can all be all hurt. I'm not gonna love so that somebody goes, well, I'm not gonna get a pet because what if they die? You ain't getting me. And that is such BS. A belief system that I am not going to adhere to. Feel it all, risk it all. You don't get anything without the risk. I would give up anything for this little girl, but I got 15, 14 years of her. And that is worth every single tear, every single pain, I've said it before. Yeah, and I get scared too. What if that was Rita? What if this was... And that's what we do, right? We do that. But it's worth every ounce to be able to love. Okay, so I am going to 11. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. What I do want to say is thank you. I do want to say thank you. We have built a community that I believe is just... One is continuing to be built, but just a place where we can land. I said my faith in this teaching and this understanding of life has been like a net that we get to fall in times when we don't even know where we're going to go. CSL Kauai is a net, a beautiful net that you get to experience in all your different ways. So I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Rita thanks you from the bottom of her heart. And Nora thanks you for taking such good care of the people that loved her so much. Thank you. The last thing I would ever say, I will never say anything that couldn't stand as the last thing I ever say. I love you. So it is.
Please hear me calling out. I've been praying, hoping for you to show me how to realize home, yeah. In the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light. See, I forgot who I really am. I've been searching, wandering, trying to understand what it means to be home, yeah. In the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light. There have been times I felt I was getting close to seeing the bigger picture, but now maybe that would help the most. If feeling your arms around me helps me to let go. And even if there's so much that I don't know, we've come in love, we've come in peace, we've come to live in harmony. However we've fallen, let's lift each other up, hear each other calling, 'cause we are one, we are one, all lit up under the same sun. We are one, forgiveness, grace, and everyone. How about no more fighting, not 'cause of counting down? We can listen to each other, there's a treasure to be found. And maybe we realize we're really all the same in a different disguise. And maybe all we want is based on what we've been through and how we see the world and what we feel we need to do. 'Cause it's survival, faith is surrender too. It's a wild journey and I'll keep moving on. together and be strong. And even if we don't know what it will take, let's call forgiveness in to heal every mistake. 'Cause we've come in love, we've come in peace, we've come to live in harmony. However we've fallen, let's lift each other up, hear each other calling. 'Cause we are one, we are one, all lit up under the same sun. We are one, forgiveness, grace, and everyone. We are one, all living under the same sun. We are one, forgiveness, grace, and everyone. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one.
Will you indulge me for just a moment and take your hands and put them on your heart for a minute? The song just, just feel that beat. Beautiful, beautiful heart beating. Just say with me, I am love. I am love. I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
So it is. I just want to ground us back in where we belong, and that's in the heart. So this is our time of affirmative giving, and I have a we have something that we say every week, and all I have to do is find it, and we'll be right on it. You think you have 6 years, you might have it memorized, but hey, wow. So it's our sacred investment. I love that, because it's not just about money, it's about sacred investment. What are you investing on a daily basis, on a daily moment? Investing. Yeah, so if you'd like to join me, I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world. And so it is. I think you guys know this one. There's a little dance number with it. We'll be bringing out the new people that have been doing the choreography. She's looking at me, she said, I don't think so. So beautiful. I'm looking at, I see babies and everybody of every age. It's so beautiful. The words are in the program.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me,
Gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 so grateful, I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm
so grateful. I'm so grateful.
With all this gratitude in our hearts, knowing that what flows in and through each and every one of us here and on the mainland, that comes through the baskets and it goes out to heal, prosper, and bless everyone here and on the island, knowing that it comes back a millionfold into our lives in various ways, knowing that this blessing, it just heals. So together we affirm it.
And so it is.
Joy to the world. Speaking of joy, we have some kids coming in here, don't we? Okay, give it up for these, give it up. We were just talking about it.
They don't want to talk. But anyway, we were seeing some of these things. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt in the heart. And we did a little labyrinth, talked about a labyrinth. And I think we're going to build one of those when we have a church, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Well, we have the church, but when we have the space.
And I did have one here for Shiloh, but I think she's shy or something. She didn't come up here. Anything else? Anything you want to know?
We're going to bless you, though. What do you think of that? Since when do you two not like to talk? Just asking. I saw joy to the world. Okay, so shall we? You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. You. There you go. Give it up. Give it up. Okay, who are the, well, we have practitioners. Julie, come on up. There we go. We have, wow, we have all of you. I think you noticed Diane, Michelle, Peggy, and oh my gosh, we have you too. Okay, so here we go. So why they're standing up here is because this is the dance number that I explained. Give them an inch. That's all I got to tell you. Give them an inch. Okay, so here's the deal. They're standing up here because, if anything, which is a silly thing to say right now, say laughter. Joy to the world. That's how it works. So here's the thing. They're up here because, remember what I was talking about? That if you can't believe it, we can believe it 100%. That's what they're doing up here. Now, if anything's come up for you during this service, which is kind of funny to me, because we got, I'm sure a few things came up. They are here for you, and it's just for a moment, a minute to come up and just one thing, this isn't happening for me. Can you know the truth for me? That's really what that's about. And if you want something more, we have what we call spiritual mind sessions, treatments where we do that, but it's really spiritual counseling that we do as well. And some of you I know have experienced it. So take advantage, utilize these wonderful practitioners. And we also have Rod back there, yeah? And he'll be back there in his special office. And if you guys, if you want to have, a little privacy there, he'll be there for you. So, how's everyone feeling?
Yes.
You feel like it's joy to the world?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a little December treat for you, and we got, right, Maria? We've been working on this little one, so everybody stand up because we need some what? Let there be peace on earth. I think you know this song. And so, here we go, and rap with the Revs about 20 minutes after, 15, 20 minutes.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
This is where you sway.
Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With love as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, our joy is found. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
And let us take this peace that we have shared with one another right here in this moment called now. This moment has never happened before and will never happen again. And as that beat continues on, take a moment to just hear that beat. It's the beat of the heart. And my heart is so filled with gratitude for Michelle and all the things that she does. The announcements and practitioner work and just being right available for whatever needs to be done. I just say thank you, Michelle. And our Malama team today is Luis, Desiree, and Bev. Ooh, keep that beat going. And we are so, so grateful for Rob and Charles in training and Jonathan. Oh, I love that beat. We may go to 11:30. And so Roseanne is in the bookstore allowing that to just keep beating with knowledge. And Ron Stover and that beautiful team every week that just allows the hospitality to just flow from this place of just family, of Ohana. And for the for the wreath that I brought in last night with little twinkly lights, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I love life. And Maria Christina and Luis who are just keeping this beat going. Yes, and all the abundance counters, Roseanne, and I think it's Stephanie back there, and all of those wonderful people off island that just continually contribute and remind us to keep going, CSL Kauai. Keep going, keep going. We love you. And so knowing that gratitude is what each and every one of us is, that gratitude is like that beat that continues to just go forward and just bless everything that is thought of, that is said. And remember that whatever those last words are, that's the place where integrity and love lie. So I just say thank you. Thank you. Say it with me, mahalo. 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 Let there be peace on earth.
And let's take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
What up, little Ruth?
I got work to do, but I feel intimidated by the role. What do you do?